discuss, consider, and act upon Spur ISD horticultural class to landscape Dyess Park. When this was brought to me, I was excited. That park being on the main street, I thought it was a good idea, but they have a presentation.
A lot of things to show. Okay, on behalf of the 6th grade science class in the high school horticulture, Spanish 3, and Spanish 4, we would like to present to you all a presentation on reviewing Dyess Park. This is for the benefit of the students who are learning to express themselves in Spanish and in English, as well as students who are learning how to plant plants, how to plant native plants, how to plant plants that are drought tolerant, and etc. They have come up with a presentation that's divided into a couple of parts. The 6th graders will talk to you all about the seeds, and the high school will talk to you all about the design.
So we're going to talk to you all about like the Spanish aspects of that are being placed into the park. When creating our greenhouse, we knew we weren't reaching a large chunk of the community. We needed an outlet to reach the Spanish population in Spur.
That's why we created Casa Verde, the same SHS greenhouse, but with an emphasis on the Spanish community.
We have taken our Casa Verde website and transformed it into a bilingual resource.
It is now not only an English-based website, but an English one as well. We have opportunities for those who speak predominantly Spanish or only Spanish.
But we didn't want to stop there. We are also including the Spanish aspect in the remodeling of Dyess Park.
We're incorporating stepping stones with Spanish words to help the community learn, those who speak Spanish to enjoy a special aspect.
We will also have Spanish labels throughout the park that will allow for young children and adults to learn and enjoy.
We believe that bilingual representation is important as an aspect of our project.
And we hope that through these projects, we will help teach the community the importance of bilingual opportunities. Thank you.
Andrew?
I'm going to talk to y'all about the plants that we're incorporating into the landscape design. So in our landscape design, we incorporated all native and desert plants in order to provide a more self-sustaining park with minimal care. The wildflowers and native plants will thrive in the natural environment and provide a striking array of color to enhance the view as people come into town. We chose butterfly bushes to provide a frame which will draw attention to the spur at the center of the park, and we also chose purple sagebrush as a pathfinder because its color corresponds to the butterfly bush's bright flowers. To draw attention to the park sign and arrow, we chose Indian blanket flower, which is a perennial wildflower that has consistent warm season blooms which are red and yellow in color. This will provide the contrast needed to make the park's focal points more noticeable. We are definitely open to suggestions for change, but we believe that the plants we chose are beneficial in displaying natural vegetation as well as creating a growth promoting habitat.
Okay, so for the next section of the park, these three have designed a kids area, which I know is dangerous on the corner of the street, but it is by the table in the back corner so parents can sit and watch their kids while they're there. So if you want to explain a little bit about that.
Basically the kids corner is gonna have 2 sand pits and like a compost area, so they kind of learn like horticulture. And your turn here as well.
Like, what are you putting?
We're also putting in a tire swing so the kids can play on the tire swing. And then we're putting stepping stones along the,
Can you talk up, please?
we're putting stepping stones along the park. So, with, they're gonna be colored and they're going to have the translation of the Spanish words of the colors and then the English translation.
Then for the last part is the sixth graders. So what they've been working on is genetically splicing plants that will grow in an area that's hot and does not have a lot of water. So group one. Just give a brief overview of what you did so that they know what seeds you're wanting to plant. George? Go first.
What we put in the soil was eggshells, sugar, and rotten vegetables.
We also put compost, sugar, corn syrup. That's all.
Anthony and Colton and James, why are y'all doing, and Ariana, why are y'all doing the project?
So we can help Africa so we can plant them in Africa, and we hope to make new vegetables in Africa.
So what they're doing is they're creating these seeds, hoping that they work in the park because the climates are the same, and then they're wanting to start a humanitarian project, sending their experiments overseas to a poor region in Africa to hope that they grow there as well. And that's what they're working on. So all of this combined to say we would really love to do this for the community, and we would love to do this as a whole group. So everyone that you see up here, along with some of the elementary students, are involved in getting this together. And we would just like y'all's approval to be able to do that.
Now, I noticed, I heard him say, put in a tire swing and
It's just-
sandbox.
It's just suggestible.
No, I'm just,
okay.
no, I don't have, I'm just, or, you putting it by that picnic table or up into the park a little bit more?
So our plan is by the picnic table is where we want to put that stuff. So that way, right now when people go, they normally just go to look at the spur, look at the arrow. But we've designed it in a way to where kids can play in that area and have an education or learn something while they're there. And then the spur and the arrow and the sign are all highlighted with plants, so that way if someone's just there to go look at that, then it shows up really nicely up at the front. And then if someone wants to have a picnic or play with their children there, then that will all be back at the picnic table.
Is there water in that park?
That's what I was going to ask.
Well,
Is there water?
there's a water, meter there that's disconnected.
Will they be put a faucet in?
Yeah, we can put one in.
But it's not overly necessary
Oh.
because they're designing plants that will,
Oh.
that could potentially live there with minimal water. So we took that into account before we even started it, is to come up with types of plants that would not require daily watering, I guess, is what we were going for, so.
But
if-
would it help though if you had?
Absolutely.
Usually it takes a little bit of water the first couple of months. So if we
Absolutely.
put one, you wouldn't be upset.
Right now, if we did it, we would have to haul water in a bucket
Yes.
over during school and then go back, and, so it would help. But it is not overly necessary right off the bat.
When do y'all wanna start doing this?
Well, we would like to start trimming trees and get prepping as soon as we can. And then once all the prepping's done, they'll do soil samples, they'll test their seeds and get the stones ready and all of that. And then when plants come out in the springtime, then we can finish lining. And we've raised our own money from growing plants ourselves and selling it. And then we applied for a $500 grant through Farm Bureau to hopefully help us finish it out.
So this park, this tire swing and the sand pits and stuff,
Yes.
it'd be on North Parker?
Yeah, on the
That's
corner.
Corner and what, First Street that goes to the school?
Granite.
Yeah, Granite.
Yeah. Back in the corner, so it's not by the main roads, but then if, we want it to be functional for people, and I feel like we came up with a pretty good idea for functional and educational and beautification all at the same time. It was a group effort.
Anyone else have questions? I'll even open it up to the audience. Y'all have any questions for the the group, the horticulture?
I couldn't hear everything that they were saying, but it sounded like they were going to put the signs in Spanish so that we would learn Spanish. Are they going to have a translation on it as well?
It's gonna be in Spanish and English.
Okay, alright, okay.
Yeah, that's what, yeah.
What kind of maintenance is this gonna require? Will this group take care of
Yeah.
Yes,
everything?
we will take care of everything during sixth grade science and during high school horticulture. So the city, the only thing that we would ask is for continued mowing.
For the preparation, the cleanup, and the follow-up, will this last the entire school year?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And thereafter, that will be then?
It'll be hard job to keep up with it.
We just have to mow, you guys, they mow it.
And then these kids will earn community service hours, for their part in it. So it's a win-win.
Any more questions? If not, I'll obtain a motion.
I move that we accept, or that we agree to have the horticultural class landscape the Dyess Park.
Motion by Mr. Wright, second by Mrs. Ortiz, to, allow the horticulture class of Spur ISD to take over Dyess Park. All for? None against, motion carried. Thank y'all so much for your presentation. I'm excited to see what it's gonna look like.
We'll try to be on.
All right.